All right.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Ying meets Yang of Gaming. Today is Sunday, January 17th. Welcome to the show. First and foremost, I need to apologize for the lack of show last Sunday. I was extremely sick and I could not even get on my computer that day. Sorry that you guys might have been anticipating the show, but there was no show. I'm feeling a lot better now. Next on the horizon, we have Project Storm. It's me, Bunny. We're both here to talk about games, gaming. As the show progressed today, we're going to be changing our format slightly. We've decided to do a couple of new things with the show. We'll discuss it as it happens. This week's topics is games, gaming news. Right now, there's a lot of news going on, and there's gaming news going on. We're going to just talk about a few topics in the gaming news going on. That's going to be the first part of the show. The second part of the show that we're changing into is we're going to be talking about games that we are playing, games that we want to highlight that are good, that other people who may not know they exist are trying. And thirdly, we're going to be talking about games that we can't wait to come out and talk about what's going on with them. We already have Alakazam in the building. Hello, Alakazam. I'm sorry. Also, yesterday I was having a few technical issues with my live stream where sometimes my sound was going out. Thank you for coming by and stopping by to my live stream last night, Alakazam. And thank you for showing up today on Ying Meets Yang of Gaming. Project Storm, my beloved co
What's
host,
up?
how have you been this week?
Hey, look, I've been pretty good. Been playing a lot of games. I'm glad you back to hopefully 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely was worried about you for a minute when you said you wasn't feeling good like that. But um, but yeah, it's good to have you back up in here. It's been a lot that's been transpiring. A lot of gaming news, a lot of gaming talk going on across the industry and all of that. We still got Cyberpunk up in the news. Maybe we'll touch on that. You never know.
That's
But
the one thing everybody's like, we're tired of beating a dead
yeah,
horse. But the problem is every time you open your mouth, it's something new about them.
absolutely. So, I've been playing a lot of games like yourself. I see you over there making moves on the dark pictures, the live stream you did, Stardew Valley, and all that stuff. So, kudos for dropping those. And I know there's some more details you might be ready to share a little bit later on during the stream. So, for me, it's just about playing these games. I have a new gaming style now. Instead of just trying to rush through a game, complete it, get to the end and see the credits and everything, move to the next game. I've been finding a little bit more pleasure in just hopping across different games, playing, a couple hours here and there, and then jumping to the next game so I can get more of an appreciation, a wider spectrum of what these developers are doing, with these games. Because think about it, Bunny. There's hundreds of games that you probably have on deck lined up. How many of those games will you ever be able to touch unless you neglect, so to speak, one or two of those, or 10 or 12 of those?
I mean,
So
so basically
what's
what
up?
you're saying is I'm rubbing off on you. Because that was
Yeah,
always my philosophy. I
yeah,
always bounce around games, and it's various reasons why I bounce around games. I bounce around because maybe I'm bored of that game. Maybe I got stuck in that game and I need to think about a plot on how to fix where I'm stuck at.
right.
Or I did something screwy and I'm thinking about restarting the game. Well, why restart it now while I'm frustrated with what I did when I can move to something else and come back to it? So
Yeah.
basically, I've rubbed off on you.
Yeah, you did, and I don't like to give you full credit. I will give you credit, especially when it's due. I don't like to give anybody full credit. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, I'm feeling in a good mood, and I'll do that. But look, I I used to dread that though. I used to be like, "Yo, I get disconnected from the game. The game developer, the game was just not developed for you to sit there and skip to another game. How can you jump off of Halo and hop on Spider-Man? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell?" So but yeah, I just got a new appreciation for it, and I think it's because our gaming habits are changing because the number of games that are just dropping on our heads any given month. You know what I'm saying? It's just game after game after game after game, and subscription service after subscription service nowadays, and cloud now and all this stuff. It's just too much. And I'm a gamer. I want to have my hands on everything, so it makes sense for me.
Also, uncompetitive. Hey, uncompetitive, how are you
Uncompetitive.
doing? And we also have Zajic in the building. What's up? What's
Najee.
up, Zajic? How you guys doing this weekend? All right, so yeah, right now I had decided, remember I was talking about 2 weeks ago, I was saying that I want to do a live stream of Stardew Valley every week.
Yep.
Well, I have been doing that. Last night was my third installment of it, but usually I play Stardew Valley on live stream for 2 hours.
Uh-huh.
But I asked the people who were there. I had like 3, 4 people there. I said, "Hey guys, I've really been wanting to play Dark Pictures Anthology Little Hope. Would
Yeah.
you guys be upset if I cut the Stardew Valley stream down by an hour and we take like a 5 minute break to get snacks, get drinks, let dogs in and out, come back and we start live streaming some Little Hope?" And nobody
Hmm.
had a problem with it. So we ended up playing Dark Pictures Anthology Little Hope for about an hour and a half.
Yo, I tell you what, we gotta do. We gotta send a big shout out to the homie Dirk Gregory in the chat, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that retweet and everything for the show. We try to chop it up in a way that everybody can stop in and give their thoughts and just say what up or whatever the case is, man. So it's good to see you up in here. Appreciate that.
What's up, Dirt? How you doing, Boo? How you doing? Thank you for showing up and thank you for retweeting the stream out. Um, so we ended up playing that. I might move to that format where I might stream an hour of Stardew and then take a break and then stream another game for about an hour. It's just
Yep.
that trying to find when I have time to do like because I like to stream like literally usually for like 2 hours or so.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Because some games, like last night with Little Hope, we ended up streaming it for about an hour and a half. And the reason is because like the first 30 minutes of it was the game setting you up. And what I mean by setting you up is you saw the opening credits. You got to meet the curator. You started seeing different skits of different things going on that once you got into the game,
Yeah.
it was something you was like, wait a minute, don't you remember such and such from such and such when we started the game in the beginning? So um so Storm, if you're really thinking about coming into the next stream of Little Hope, go back and watch the first stream, and that's with
I will.
everybody in the chat. Reason is because even people who popped in halfway through the stream last night, they could get the gist of it, but for the rest of us who was in the chat talking, we had seen some things that was previous to that person coming in. So if you might want to think about checking out my next stream of Little Hope, which will be next Saturday, go back and watch my last stream of it so that it can catch up to what's going on. You got a lot of tough choices to make, and a lot of things are happening in that game. Um,
Yo, and
what's
that's
that?
something I'm gonna have to do. You know, that's one I want to play, but I really want to go through Man and Madon first. I
Well,
really have
here's the thing.
because I
Here's
got a
the
taste
thing.
of it, Bunny. I got a taste of it.
No. Here's the thing. Each game is individually different. So you don't have to play Man of Madon to jump into Little Hope.
Oh wow.
The only connection you have between the two games, you remember the curator in
Yeah.
Man of Madon?
Uh-huh.
That's the only connection between the two games.
All right. Well, leave
Each
it right there.
each game is their own individual story.
All
Man
right. Good. That's good to know.
Man of Medan is based on the legend of the Orang Medan, which was a ship that the only naval history of it ever written was for after World War II in 1952. The Coast Guard made a mention of it. It's an old tale from the sea that happened after World War II that seems to be lost to time. So it's an urban legend.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to complete Man of Medan to play Little Hope. Just like with the next one that's coming out is called House of Ashes. And from what I'm understanding, that one's taking place from the trailer we saw. It's taking place during the Iraqi war or something, and it's
Uh-huh.
taking place in the Middle East. So you don't have to play the other two to be ordered in order to play that one, because
Got it. Got
nothing's
it.
connecting them. The only thing that connects them is the curator, and
Okay, I
he's
got you.
just a guy sitting there.
All right.
So
Well,
you
that's
don't
good to
have
know.
to finish Man of Medan to play Little Hope.
Okay, got you.
hmm That's the one great thing about that series of games. I can't wait to see what all the games are going to be in that series.
Yeah, well, how about we pump the brakes a little bit and let the people know we might be. I know you mentioned a new format, but we definitely want to discuss that now. What we thought about it, we talked about it, and the show we want to try to cap the show off at an hour and a half instead of the full 2 hours, right? And if we have any bonus content, or if it's just one of those days where the topics are just fire, then we'll go over that, y'all. Because trying to come up with a structure that we can go ahead and a plan that we can stick with and everything. So with that being said, Bunny,
Let's
man,
jump
we
into
got a lot of
this news.
we got some news, and we had to chop this news up, y'all. Surprisingly, there's so much news out there that we had to chop in a segment. So we want to jump into it now. Do we have any? You're gonna start doing the housekeeping, all of the PNTS network stuff, and all that toward the end of the show, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. All
All
right.
right. So let's get into this news here. All right. Let's see here. Let's
Yeah, we
talk
can
about
pick.
this first bit here. And this is from Eurogamer. And they're saying for people who have PC players, unlike the console players, PC players will have to buy Hitman 2 to unlock the levels in Hitman 3.
And that's that right there is a problem already for a lot of people. Like I have friends who bought Hitman 2 thinking at first because they were told that Hitman 3 was going to be automatically included, I guess, if they purchase Hitman 2 or something. I'm not sure the fine details of it. I'm going to have to definitely read through everything, but I think that's becoming an issue. A lot of people are frustrated because now they're learning that they have to buy Hitman 2 all over again, Bunny. So if you were one of those gamers, how would it make you feel?
I mean, I can tell you right now, you got to think about it like this. We already see this in console gaming also. Think about Control. Control, the people who were the first early adopters of Control, in order to get Control Ultimate, they have to rebuy it.
Right.
They don't get the free next gen update. We see it with games like Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. The base game is the same. It's just that Persona 5 Royal added more stuff to it. So the people who bought Persona 5 had to rebuy Persona 5 Royal if they wanted that extra content. And that was on console.
Yep.
Dragon Quest 11 for PlayStation 4 users and PC users. If you wanted the Dragon Quest 11 Definitive Edition that came on the Switch,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get an upgrade. You have to repurchase it.
That's crazy.
And whereas the difference is since it was never on Xbox just went straight ahead and got the definitive edition. So they already got the definitive edition. PC and PlayStation 4 users had to rebuy it if they wanted the definitive edition.
So you know what it was making me think about? It's making me think about all the hoopla that went on about these games, like you having to repurchase these next gen games if you already bought the current gen version of the game, and then some people saw that the price tag went up to $70 and all that. So it's making me kind of go back to those arguments and complaints about having to buy these games all over again when they were the same damn games with better visuals or whatever tweaks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Exactly. It goes back because, like I said, we started seeing it in last gen. And with us starting to see it, now it's just look like it's now looking like it's going to affect the PC players with this game. Because this one's going to be the PC players. How are the PC people feeling that they got to they have to buy? So basically, what is from way it's looking to me, it looks like there's levels of Hitman 2 and Hitman 3. But when you buy Hitman 3 for the consoles, everything is included. But it's looking like with the PC people, they're going to have to buy Hitman 2 and 3 to get the complete experience.
Right.
That is something janky there going on. But it goes back to money, 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 money.
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
that's what we got to think about is going back to money. If they do things like that, they're going to get more money, especially if people are waiting to buy it when it's on sale.
Good point.
Yeah, because like I said, people on PC players will wait for that Epic Steam Store sale or that to buy up a bunch of games because then they don't have to pay full price on them.
Well, I think that is looking like a Stadia move for me because of just while we're talking about Hitman, we got to talk like because Stadia is going to be getting a new feature that's going to roll out with Hitman 3 next week, and it's called State Share, and it's going to allow people to take like a spot in the game, send it out to any of your friends or viewers or whatever if you're a content creator, and then have them. It's like almost like a challenge to see if they can complete what you just completed on whatever difficulty and all that. So it's going to be sharing a state in the game, and you could just share it at any time with anybody you want on social media or whatever. I think that's going to be huge, man. So I'm looking forward to it. I might have to go ahead and cop that on Stadia. And
But here's the
then
question.
what's up? And then what you got?
So they're mentioning PC and consoles here, but what about Stadia? Will you
Well,
have to purchase Hitman again, Hitman 2 on Stadia?
well, no, I don't think so. I think hopefully it's gonna just roll right into the hub or whatever. I need to go back and double check myself, but there's this the World of Assassination hub, I think, that includes Hitman 1 and 2 for Stadia. And I think the third game is gonna unlock in that as well. So I don't think we have to really necessarily worry about all that. I hope that's the case. I think only right now they're saying it's not going to affect the consoles, so I don't think that that would affect Stadia at all. So, but Charles just joined and said, "Yo, what's the topic?"
Yes, I just put it up on screen for everyone. We're
Okay.
talking about how Eurogamer is announcing that
What's
Hitman
the
2.
overall? What's the show topic first, though? I mean, like maybe, yeah. What's
Oh,
the show? Yeah.
the show topic is gaming news.
Yep.
And this is news. There's a lot of news out there, but we're talking about gaming news right now. And Charles, you missed my slight explanation earlier. We're changing the show format a little bit. We're going to focus a third of the show on the gaming news
Yeah.
because there's a lot of gaming news going on. Some things have to be talked about. The second quarter of the show is going to, the second third of the show is going to be games we're playing, games we're highlighting, games that we think need to get out there. It may be a AAA game, it may be an indie game, but we're going to be talking about that. And then the last third of the show is we're going to highlight some games that we can't wait that are coming up and out.
Good. Good.
And Zajic is saying, yeah, 1 and 2 on Stadia Pro on are all in the one launcher. So yeah, okay, so Stadia is going to have the same thing as consoles. So it looks like right now PC players are the only ones that's really hurting from this.
Yeah, which is not good. So hopefully they can resolve that by doing something for them if they purchase the game. I think they were going to be there was going to be some kind of I don't know if it's going to be a discount or something for those players or something that they're working on. I have no clue, but they're going to have to do something to make that more appealing.
They're going to have to buy one get one 50% off something, but that's
Yeah.
PC players right there. But see, the thing is I'm noticing the industry is cracking down more on PC players. Do you want me to explain what I mean
I
by
do.
that?
I do cuz I'm a PC player myself now.
I'm noticing, like, you know how when games go from console to PC, some
Yeah.
companies are still charging full price for that old game. Prime example I could think of right off the top of my head was Octopath Traveler on the Nintendo Switch. A year later, it went to Steam. And a year later, when it went to Steam, Square Enix was charging $59.99 for that game.
Wow.
PC players were up in arms. They're like, we're not paying $59.99 for an old ass game.
I just don't I just don't
So,
understand, Bunny, how they just have the audacity to do that. Like I
but here's the thing, and the thing is, and here's the thing: they're trying to get as much money as they can wherever they can. They saw that people were paying 59.99 on the Switch for it.
mm-hmm.
And then they're like, okay, we're moving it to a new market. Because basically, you got to also think about they probably had to rewrite the code slightly to put it on PC from the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they're like, okay, we had to put work into this port. We're going to charge you full price for this game. I mean, you got to think about it. I'm a Switch player. I'm used to paying full price for any game that comes to the Switch because just like how they did $59.99 for the Steam version of Octopath Traveler, I'm paying $59.99 for Witcher 3, which is an old game that they ported to the Switch.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're trying to get an even field of play there between everybody because I'm saying, and I'm going to continue to say this, if they get people used to on PC and all this stuff paying full price, the moment everything goes digital, they're not going to be running those sales.
Um it's gonna kind of be hard for them to go away from the sales because that's what makes PC gaming more appealing to people who don't really know PC gaming
Yeah,
who is
but the
just
thing
jumping in.
is if everything's digital, then why do they have to run a sale?
Uh, yeah, because sales are awesome and it makes people go out and buy games in droves, and then for a little
I mean,
bit of a
that's like think about how Nintendo is.
yeah,
Nintendo keeps charging $59.99 for Mario Kart, and people are like, "I don't know why. I understand why you don't put it on sale. You don't do this. You don't do that." People are paying the $59.99 for it on Mario Kart. Why do they need to put it on sale?
yo, good point. I mean, I just don't. I just don't see them changing the sales that happens. Now, maybe the frequency will be reduced,
Mm-hmm.
but those sales are what's driving PC and was making it the paradise for the real serious gamers, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So I think they are going to continue to do that. I think that the digital part is. I don't know, Bunny. This right here is going to be a. We might want to say this one for the next show because man,
I mean, because like I said, but see, right now we can't even give it a definitive answer because every it's always changing and it's leaning more and more towards like they want PC players to pay the full price like they want that console money. Y'all want to play on PC? Yeah, we'll give you the games, but we want you to pay the same price as console people. Look at Cyberpunk. They just made like all those millions from selling the game at $60 a pop on PC. You don't think other companies are going to look at that and be like, "Oh, well, people are willing to pay that money on PC." It's already it's already the thoughts that people don't do it because everybody thinks PC players pirate games and they always wait for a sale. Game has to be on sale for them to buy it, but Cyberpunk just proved that 4 million people went out there and bought it at $60 a
yeah,
pop.
but see now you got to look at the nature of it. It's a cyberpunk. It's a World of Warcraft. It's a big AAA game or the ones that's going to be
But
success Call of Duty and all that.
World of Warcraft pays you pay full price for that expansion when it comes out, and then pay $14.99 a month on top of
I
it.
know, but my point is now every game is going to be able to survive at 59 and 69.99 and all that. So they might want to think about it before they try to focus on those price points going increasing or whatever.
Right. But time will tell. That's all I can say on that is time will tell.
Yep,
We'll
I
see what
agree.
happens. Let's move on to our next topic here. You dropped quite a few here in our little
Yes,
thing.
I had to drop a few because I'm telling you, I couldn't not talk Nintendo. I think we got to just chop it up. So pull out whichever one you want.
All right, so let's see here. Let me stop sharing my screen. And then let's go to do you want to let's go since we're talking about PC, let's go to this Nvidia news cuz
Yeah, let's do
it's
it.
pretty big.
Let's do it.
Let's look here at Nvidia here. NVIDIA is talking about their RTX may not be supplied until April at
Yeah,
least.
which is crazy, and I'll tell you why that's so crazy. Being an owner of a 3080 card that I recently got myself, those cards are hard as hell to find. You know what I'm saying? To the point where now, and then with this tariff that we're hearing about, oh man, people are speculating that these prices are about to skyrocket again. And then you got the mining craze that's back, Bunny. This is it's kind of ugly for all the people that's trying to get their hands on this hardware, especially in the PC space, because some people sold their 2080 Ti's, Bunny, sold their 2080 Ti's, right? Because they heard how powerful these new cards were going to be for a half or a fraction of the price, right? So imagine selling your 2080 Ti and then the 3080 and 3090 drop, and you can't get your hands on neither one of them for months and months and months. You know, and these cars originally dropped, I think, around August or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, I don't know. It's crazy. Now you have to hear on top of that. Now you were waiting by your computer on your computer hitting F5 for days and days and hours each day, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still can't get your hands on the card. Now you're hearing that they may not be in better supply. I'm not going to say full supply because I don't even think that's going to happen. Better supply until around April, when at first we were thinking like March, end of February and stuff. Oh man, that's just not good. It's not good at all if you're a content creator or if you're just a gamer that was ready to upgrade and sold the farm to do so. That's not good. What's your thoughts?
I anticipated this. I predicted this because of you got to think the biggest tech creator in the world was shut down. All these GPUs and all these consoles and all this stuff would have been produced this year. I mean, in 2020, had the system had there not been a wrench thrown into the system. I'm anticipating all tech to be behind by at least 6 months, just like this.
Yep.
Any tech gear that's coming out, I'm anticipating it's going to be behind by at least 6 months. And
But
the little dribblings that came out is just enough to whet your appetite. But it's not going to be until a full 6 months later before everything gets back up and running. And that's providing we don't have another nuclear meltdown.
that's true. Now, and you're right. I like the fact that you added the fact that it's across the board because
Mhm.
I recently read an article on how Phil Spencer and Xbox were pretty much pleading for AMD to help them out to get more because again, the CPUs and GPUs in these consoles are both made by AMD. So it's kind of like a desperation thing now where supply is just not there. So when you have the PC space struggling like that, it's just only a matter of time before that trickles down into the console space because they're all using the same AMD components in certain cases, unless you go NVIDIA exclusively. But even here, we're learning that NVIDIA is struggling to keep up with supply. So it's just bad across the board. I don't like the way it looks at
I
all.
mean, the thing is they already are. It's not even trickling down to them. They're already experiencing it. Think
Yeah.
about it. You couldn't even buy a PlayStation 5 unless just break it down and get rid of the scalpers out there and stop blaming the scalpers. Because I guarantee you, if they had enough consoles, the scalpers couldn't buy all.
They would have to drop their prices and get out of the game.
I mean, it wouldn't even have gotten as bad as it is. If they had the supply, scalpers wouldn't be. If they had 10 million units by Christmas, you know, 10 million units by Christmas, do you actually think scalpers would have been able to buy all 10 million units?
Nope, nor would they want to.
Exactly. So that's the thing right now, and we already see it with those. I'm seeing it in across the board in a lot of different things. I'm seeing it in foods. I'm seeing it like since you remember how we were all shut down and the grocery stores got bought out of
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
my grocery store is never fully in stock of everything. Like if you go to the meat department one week, it might be the beef section might be a wee bit lean, but the chicken section is plump. The pork section might be a wee bit plump, but that week the chicken section is a little lean. We're seeing it in everything. It's to varying degrees. So these consoles, PC space, the fact that games are being able to come out the way they're coming out, like January, February, March is going to be some big months with games, and we'll get into that in our other section. But everything is slowly coming back around. Right now, this supply shortage, I'm not even surprised about. I anticipated it.
Yo, well, on that note, and
Look
I
in the
agree.
chat.
I
Let's
agree
look
with
in
you.
the
And then
chat
yeah,
real
right to the chat. You know I'm thinking it because
quick.
Zajic was saying yeah, 1 and 2 is on Stadia Pro, talking about the Hitman, and they are all in one launcher. Yeah, so he
Mhm.
confirmed what I was saying. Also, Hitman and 1 and 2 get the graphical improvements from 3. Wow. I'm looking forward to all that. Can you imagine as a streamer or content creator just being able to jump between those 3 games and they all look better? They all, like 3 is just gonna probably be just mind blowing visually because the Hitman games always look good. But so
They
then he
have,
said,
I will admit, Hitman, even back in the day,
yeah,
Hitman games always looked good.
yes, they did.
Hmm.
So then he says Hitman is a little unique as the engine was originally made to be episodic. They transitioned to full games as it didn't work out financially. And
Hmm.
then he lastly says before Charles jumped in and said, sales are a side effect of competition. Stagnant price happens when you no longer have options, right?
Yep.
I agree. So Charles said, so what is the 3060? The 3060 is that's the card that's on the lower end. It's the successor to the 2060 card from NVIDIA. And they're talking about, I heard rumblings about the 3060 and the 3060 Ti and all that stuff. The 3060 Ti is already released. And then I heard about this 12 gigabyte 3060 that was supposed to be dropping. So man, who knows, Charles? I don't know what they're gonna be able to put out or how much of those cards they're gonna have for people. But what the 3060 is gonna do is force those people who are waiting for the 3080s, 3090s, and 3070s to compromise and go down to the 3060, which is not good, because then they're just gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to I don't. This card is not powerful enough. I really want that 3080 now that it's back in full demand, and they might have to buy 2 cards. I don't know. It's just an ugly situation. So then Zajic says it's a horrible time to try to get into PC gaming. I agree with him fully. Charles said if they don't close everything down again, which I feel not censor or
Dude.
deduce will happen again. All right. And I'm with you on that. Hopefully everything gets better. They're talking about all these vaccines and stuff, but we don't want to get into it because that'll make a whole nother show. Charles said, I went to Sam's Club yesterday. It was crazy. Wow.
Yeah, talking about like the food where you see stuff come back in, but not everything's back in at once. You still have empty spaces in store shelves
Yeah.
because of, like I said, everything is being affected. Food, gaming, my crafting stuff is being affected. Everything is being affected. So this whole short supply demand thing, I'm not surprised about it. I don't anticipate like PlayStation 5s and Xboxes to be completely back in stock until about April or May.
Yeah, they're starting to trickle
Maybe
in now,
long.
but it's the bundles that's trickling in now. See, they got to recoup that money somewhere, Bunny. So they're coming out with these bundles. I
And
saw $1,100 bundle on Newegg.
yeah, and the thing is like GameStop. There was a memo that went out at GameStop where when people come into the store to buy a console, they can't just buy the console alone. They have to buy a bundle. And if they want just strictly the console, they have to order it online and have it shipped to their house. You can't just walk into the store and buy a console. You have to buy a whole bundle.
Yeah,
They're
like
they're,
my
they're
Series
turning
X was
this
shipped to my house.
exactly, and that's like I said, they got to recoup money, but that's putting a bad taste in the gamer's mouth.
But the
Like
good thing about Microsoft, I got to give Microsoft credit because they didn't bundle a damn thing. I went online that day on the 10th and then I was lucky enough to get one and they shipped that bad boy.
But see,
before
that's
the
the thing.
expected date.
But see, that's the thing. PlayStation and Microsoft are not selling theirs in bundles. It's all these other companies who's doing it. You can go to PlayStation. Only thing people it's going to drive people to do is go to the PlayStation and Microsoft stores online and buy just the consoles because those storefronts aren't doing bundles. They're just doing the consoles.
Right.
That's what we got to look at. And then Charles is saying, my theory is that people are panic buying again. That's the last
Last
time
time I
I
get
get
into
into
it.
it.
Yep.
All right. But yeah, this shortage thing, I'm not surprised at all. All right, let's move on to our next topic here. Um, and then we'll have one more topic to talk about. Okay. And this story is from Tech Radar. Okay, let me share my
Yeah,
screen.
and that last topic can be a bonus topic if we're running over time or whatever. So we can make that a bonus if we
No, we
need
can
to.
we can we can get through it.
All right,
I think we'll be good.
got it.
Um, let's see here. And we are going to there we go. So this topic comes courtesy of Check Radar. Uh, Sony removes PlayStation 5 release dates from CES 2021 trailer. Uh,
Might want to look into that one because I have no idea why, or I don't know if it's something janky or whatever. Like they might be those games might not release this year that they had up there. So I wanted to take a dive on that one. I didn't know if you wanted to highlight it during the show or whatever, but we definitely need to talk about it.
see, the thing is Sony is getting to the point where they're getting a little more like Nintendo. Only difference is they announce stuff earlier. Nintendo usually sits on everything, then announces it. But when they are usually ready to announce it, they also ready to announce the date and everything. I see one of two reasons why they removed the release dates for these games. Well, one of three reasons. Reason number one is yes, they could be pushed back to a later date than 2021. And it was games they might have promised for 2021.
Yeah.
Second reason is maybe they're trying to hide that the games that people are speculating are PS5 only will also be cross gen between PS4 and PS5. Third thing is games that they had talked about being cross gen,
Mm-hmm.
they might wait and make it only PS5.
And that's interesting because I read a little further down where it talks about says since then it's spotted by Gamatsu, I guess that's the name of the site. The trailer has been uploaded to YouTube by Sony, but this time the third party release dates in the disclaimer are nowhere to be seen. Says the only dates remaining are for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and Horizon Forbidden West in 2021 and Returnal on March 19th. Now, I guess that's three games that people might be happy about. The fact that they're going to probably stay in the 2021 window.
But the key thing you said there was third party games.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, hey, it's not going to be a surprise if they have to push any of these games back a little bit for obvious reasons. So I would just advise people to kind of expect release date changes or whatever. And if it doesn't happen, then it's better that it didn't.
Right. Unless we don't some things going on behind the scenes that we don't know, like maybe a console, maybe it's a bidding war between consoles to have it as a timed exclusive. So right now they've removed the dates so that nobody get their hopes up.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm sure it'll come out later on. But those games that remain, like Horizon Forbidden West and Ratchet and Clank, that's what you want to see. Returnal as well. You want to see those games slated for this year because if you got your hands on the PS5, you completed Spider-Man Miles Morales a couple times already, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you jumped on Demon Souls, got your butt kicked, and it's not too much left that you can try other than the older games. You know what I mean? So just to
Yeah.
see those three
I
games,
mean,
if I'm a PS5 owner, I'm happy about that.
the thing is, people I know who have a PS5, some of them have already platted Miles Morales, platted Demon Souls,
Yeah,
platted Bug Snacks. Um, so yeah, it's getting a little low for like new games for them.
right.
But the
So
fact that they remove those dates for third parties is something odd about that.
yeah, and then like March 19th for Returnal, I guess if I'm a PS5 game, I'm looking into that game to see what it's all about
And
because that's going to
March
be the
is going to be
closest
a
one.
packed month
Yeah,
because that's releasing in March. Also, Monster Hunter Rise is releasing in March. Um, Harvest Moon is releasing in March. Story of Seasons is releasing in March.
yeah.
So we got to see what's going on because February it's also a lot being released in March, but nothing first party. I don't think for PlayStation. I think PlayStation's when is Ratchet and Clank supposed to drop?
Well, they just kept it, I guess, for just 2021. Like it's probably to be determined or to be confirmed or whatever.
So that means Returnal might be the first PlayStation 5 game exclusive dropping this year.
Yeah, because it's slated for March 19th.
Right, and if Ratchet and Clank don't have a date yet, that could so they got 2 months to wait for first party.
Yeah, unless there's something that we're missing that's going to slide into that window beforehand. I can't think of anything. But hey, it is what it
Uh,
is. But we knew that coming into the game. We knew that, going in that
We knew
it
that
was going to
coming
be
into
slim
the
pickings.
year. Yeah, we knew that coming into the year it was going to be slim pickings. And Zajic says lots of things are probably going to get delayed further. Agree with you on that, Zajic. All right, so let's stop sharing that one and then okay, we don't want that. We don't want that. Let's talk about the dear old Nintendo Switch. These sale prices are crazy for the Switch. Uh, these sales numbers. You gotta think about the Switch is quote unquote what everybody calls a kiddie console.
Right.
Nobody wants the Switch. It's for kids. It's for weebos who are weird. It's for them child pedophile. They say all this stuff about Switch owners, but yet if you're looking at the screen, and this is courtesy of IGN, um, Nintendo Switch 2020 sees a second highest annual dollar sales in the U.S. console history. It also was the top selling console in PD of December 2020. But that's also due to the fact there's a lack of consoles in the other spaces.
Right.
But that goes back to also I understand like with new technology, you're having problems getting your parts because it's all new. PlayStation discontinued the PS4. How many people you think who didn't have a PS4 but was looking to get a PS5 or even looking to get a PS4 would have bought one if they were still making them?
Excellent question.
Like me, I just bought my PS4. I got my PS4 at Christmas. Okay, and the reason is because games that I want to play coming out are going to be both gens. Okay, and I'm a person who has the patience of Job. I can wait on stuff. But They didn't have the console. They no consoles for PlayStation was there to be bought, whether it was the PS4 or the PS5. Same thing with Xbox. There might have been some older Xboxes, but people want the new Xboxes. They didn't have much of a stock. Nintendo, because they're using older tech anyway, they were able to get their parts no problems because they probably had warehouses upon warehouses of them stored up. And they were just able, once the factories were able to open back up and the production plants were able to open back up, they could just start cranking out systems. It's still hard to find a Switch right now. Walking into a store to buy a Switch is damn near impossible.
Yo, I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of three things, right? And I'm like, damn, that's a lot of Weebos, right? As you referred to them, and or other people refer to the Switch gamers and stuff, right? That's a lot of them on the planet.
Uh-huh.
Or then the second thing I think about is it makes me kind of sad because I'm like, damn, this shows right here that Nintendo might not change the game too much with this Switch Pro that might be slated for this year, and it may not. But they might not change too much, Bunny, and that kind of makes me frown a little bit because I want them to kind of, me, I'm just wishful thinking
But you
that
gotta
they'll
think
go
about it like
all out with 4K. I don't care
this.
as long as it's 4K. I don't care about all that other crazy technology.
No,
Just
but
give
you
me
gotta think
4K.
about it like this. How
What's
many
up?
times does Nintendo do a mid-gen refresh? Think about it. Usually they let their consoles go for 5 to 7 years and then they make a new console. Only thing I can tell you is that this hybrid method of the Switch is never going to go away.
Yeah,
Because you
and
got to think about they were leaders in the handheld market. When they came out with the Switch, they merged their handheld market games and the people who were making games for the 3DS with the people who were making games for the Wii. They got the best of both worlds. The
yeah, that's a
only
good
thing I
point.
don't see them changing is the format of a hybrid system. But like I said, the Switch is going on 4 years old this year. Next year, they might just come out with a whole new console and make it where it's backwards compatible with the Switch.
I hope so,
And it might be more powerful at that time.
and I'm sure it will. And it might integrate this cloud that they're giving you glimpses of. It might integrate that somehow with this new console.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna keep my eyes on it. That's for sure. You know what I mean? I definitely want to keep my eyes on it.
But I also think a lot of these sales are because there's no other consoles to buy.
Okay,
There's
now let me ask you this. So you mentioned the hardware being the same hardware that they're used to, which is a benefit and an advantage for Nintendo, obviously, right? That's
what
a hell of a thing. So do you think that Microsoft and Sony looks at Nintendo's ability to sell through this pandemic and everything by using this older tech? Because even Nvidia went backwards from the DDR6X RAM or memory that's inside those 3080 and those 3000 series cars, right? They kind of like went away from that with these lower tier 3060s and all that you're hearing about, right?
hmm
So do you think that Microsoft might say, we're gonna follow Nintendo's suit because they're kicking ass and taking names right now for the next generation?
But see, here's the thing you got to think about. I personally feel that Xbox and PlayStation discontinued their mainline consoles a little too soon. And I understand you don't want to have stock. I guarantee you, both of those companies has all that tech that was from the PlayStation 4 Pro and from the Xbox One still in warehouses
Yeah, I agree.
that they're going to try to find to go somewhere else. Nintendo has the same thing. They have warehouses with all this tech for the Switch.
Yep.
Okay, the only thing that slowed them down was the fact that nobody could go work in the manufacturing plants.
Uh-huh.
So when people were allowed to go back and work in the manufacturing plants, hey, Nintendo's like, oh, let's just pull our stock down. We got a ton of stock. Let's start cranking out switches and getting them around the world. with Xbox and PlayStation discontinuing the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 Pro because they want people to jump straight to the next gen. They still got the
Yeah,
warehouses with that tech in it, but they decided to not make the tech anymore. They're focusing on getting the PlayStation 5s out and the Xbox Series
man.
X
And
and
Bunny,
the
let
S.
me ask you something. Did they make that decision knowing that the pandemic was already upon us?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
I can't
But
remember when it.
you gotta remember, Xbox discontinued the One X a while ago, like a year or
Right.
two ago.
Yeah.
PlayStation just started coming out because you got to remember when the pandemic first launched, consoles got sold out everywhere. Xboxes were gone, PlayStation
Yep.
4 Pros,
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 Slims, Switches, they were all gone. We're coming out of the pandemic. Nintendo is still making the Switch. They have switches. But even after we came out the pandemic, there was a shortage of PlayStation 4s. You could hardly find. I don't remember seeing PlayStation 4s ever get restocked in the stores. And then when I went to go buy my PlayStation 4, I had to go to the Sony website to buy it from the Sony PlayStation store. After it got shipped to me, when I went to the website, because Tronny was looking at getting a new PlayStation 4. When I went to the website to see if they had any more in stock, it said no more in stock and no plans to restock it.
Yeah.
So that's something you got to think about. We don't know when PlayStation decided they were no longer, and then they just decided to announce that they're discontinuing
Yo,
it in Japan.
that's gotta hurt, Bunny, because I'm sitting up here thinking about how much money they could have made if they had a $300 Xbox One X on the market, and the pros were still pumping right now at a
Mm,
high
because it
pace for
goes
all of those
back to
gamers. For all of those gamers that were stuck with a base model console, right? Think about how many of them would have been happy this holiday season to upgrade to a pro model. You know what I mean? Or X.
exactly, because you got to think about the pro. The reason I got my pro is because it's the closest thing to the next gen, and all the cross gen games you automatically know are going to be PS4 Pro enhanced. Those people might have just upgraded to a pro if they weren't ready to go to a 5. But then it also goes back to everybody who's, you know, how some people will, remember how I was explaining to you that some people don't buy a console until the next gen comes out.
Yeah.
I know 2 to 3 people who were looking for PlayStation 4 Pros to buy for their kids and couldn't find them, or scalpers because they're so rare. Do you realize GameStop was selling sells used PS4 Pros for $369? Why are you going to pay $369 for a used PlayStation 4
When you
Pro?
can get a new five for
For
four.
well, no, or even a PlayStation 4 Pro new was $400.
Oh wow.
You see what I mean? Why are you going to pay $370 for a used PlayStation 4 Pro when you could just look for $30 more and get a brand new one?
Because some people they are in situations where they had to penny pinch like that, or some people just choose the penny pinch. They get a
I mean,
kick out of
that's
it.
the thing. And now PlayStation 4 Pros are hard to find, whether they're used or new, because during the pandemic, people were buying the used ones because they couldn't find a new one.
Well, it's all interesting right now because if I'm leading those companies, I'm like, damn, y'all, you know how many millions and billions we could have brought in if we still were pumping out these systems. But it's crazy because logically, after 3 years, I just don't understand why they killed that X. But well, we know why. We know why, but I'm just saying, like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I mean,
I
whoa.
mean, and that's the thing. Like I said, if they had, can you think about how much money they could have had if they came out the pandemic, started producing, even if they did PlayStation 4s, like a limited supply? I mean, you got to think about people. Some people are buying consoles now for kids. Just like that gentleman called in on the commission. He said, "I have no reason to get an Xbox because we're still using the One X and it's perfectly fine." Some
Yeah.
people are looking at things like that, like, hey, if you're buying it for a kid, some people don't want to spend that type of money on a kid. They're okay with getting them a older console with a ton of games that they can buy cheaper. And the problem with that is a lot of physical games are going missing now. Nobody's giving them up. Nobody's getting rid of them.
Yeah, I can dig it, but we're coming up on that three
Yes.
o'clock mark, and
Yes. So
so
it's time for us to move on.
yep,
What games are you playing and what games you want to highlight?
I'm playing a Plague Tale Innocence. I've started that game over like 8 or 9 times. Every
Do you
time it
have
get,
any gameplay on your channel?
I do. I have some Xbox One X, and I might have some PC gameplay footage of it in 4K. Yeah, that I did recently. I definitely have PC gameplay, but every time, and I played it on the. I tried. I know I started it over at least 7 or 8 times. You know what I mean? And every
I
time
don't
I
care what platform you're playing it on. We just want some gameplay of it. You don't
yo
mind me sharing the screen of your gameplay, do you?
oh
As you talk about this awesome
no,
game.
no, I don't mind at all. You could definitely put that PC footage. It should be there. I don't know if we can find. I should have already had a link
Oh, you're
ready.
fine. You're fine. I
But check
got
it
it.
out.
Continue talking about it.
Here's the deal. The game absolutely amazing. I mean, the character detail, the character models and everything, the voice acting, the lore, the setting of the game, the theme, all of that stuff, Bunny, is top flight. And it really saddens me a little bit because I have hundreds and thousands of friends. I've never heard you. You didn't bring it up until after I brought it up. I mean, you knew about it. I don't know if you played it, but
I didn't play it because it's not on Switch.
oh,
Remember,
see,
I
that's what I'm
only
saying.
had a Switch
I again,
when it
this game
came
should be
out.
everywhere. It's made by Sobo Studios or whatever.
Mhm.
It's just phenomenal, man. Like the opening level just gripped me to the point where I was like, yo, if I play this game, if I play this second level, I'm only gonna make content on this game, and that might end up happening until I get done with that game. But it's so damn good. It's just I'm already caught up in the storyline and everything. And I like to hop from game to game. But man, it's an amazing. I give it a 10. I don't understand. Like this game should have been nominated for Game of the Year. I don't know if it was or not. I might have to look that up. But A Plague Tale Innocence is the game that a lot of people slept on. And I think it deserves to sell at least a few more million copies.
Now it looks very good. I remember watching gameplay of it, and I was sitting there like, "Oh my god, this game looks awesome!"
It is.
Um, it looks awesome, and I was sitting there like, "Yo, dude, this game looks phenomenal." I remember seeing it, and I know it's a shorter game, isn't it?
I think so. I don't know. I want it to be longer because it's amazing. I know it's just one of those games I might play through again after I'm done with it, or it's just dope, Bunny. You make me want to play it right now. Squid just joined us.
What's up, Squiddy? How are you? Yeah, your thing is like you got so many videos on
I
here.
know it's in my past streams though, or whatever, because it was definitely a stream. So it's
Gotcha.
in. But
But
anyway, so
so
we can
that's
move
a
on to
game you're
yours.
playing. Right now, I have been playing a ton of Stardew Valley. Everybody knows Stardew Valley. But I just started Little Hope, Dark Pictures Anthology. I'll show that one.
Yeah,
Um, I started it last night, first time ever playing it. It's done by the same people who did Man of Madon and did Under Until Dawn. Okay, so let's see here. And
all right.
then
And I got that link. I got the link. If you, I'm gonna drop it in there if you want to put a little bit of it up or whatever. But
for what?
for a Plague Tale, yeah, because the game is
Yeah.
dope.
And then,
Game.
like I said, I'm getting ready to share my screen here of this one. Because, like I said, I started playing it last night. People in my stream were like, I hope you're playing it in the daylight because, or you got some lights on because this is kind of spooky. It was kind of spooky. It was one of those, did you see that, y'all? Moments.
Yeah.
So this is Man of Medan anthology. This is my live stream of it last night. I wonder if I can make that bigger for you.
Let me see. You got me
All
looking through.
right.
Got me looking through my video now. But
All right,
anyway, go
there
ahead.
you go. So there it is. So this game is one of the games where your choices in the game, it's like a choose your own adventure. You make choices. The game is so deep. It's a shorter game. I'm not sure exactly how long it is, but the game is so deep. The choices you make will either raise your status with the other players, or it might lower your status with the other players. And you can track how high you are in people's radar and how low you are in people's radar. Like prime example, girl made a choice saying something about this guy who's her boyfriend, but she doesn't want to admit that he's her boyfriend. And you could see a down arrow in the red saying, "Okay, your points with this person just dropped some." Um, every time, every playthrough you see of this game, every person who plays this game might make different choices, so you might get different endings. Um, the story is awesome. It's spooky. Little Hope takes place during the Salem witch trials, as I was saying. It's based on the Salem witch trials. Um, the beginning of the game is kind of you need to watch it from the beginning to see everything going on. I'm loving the game. There's jump scares in it. It's nothing too like, you know how some people love really fast paced action games? This is actually a very, very chill horror game
Right.
where you could enjoy playing it yourself, or for some people, they might enjoy watching other people play it because the jump scares might be too scared for them.
Mm-hmm.
It is an awesome game. The graphics of it looks very good. Um, you always have to take a look at the full screen because stuff might pop out in the weirdest places. You have to investigate stuff. You get to read different things. You find different things. One thing that I do love about this game and Man of Medan is you can find photos in the game. And as you find the photos, when you look at them, they might trigger a premonition of a future that may or may not happen based on the choices you make. And you never know if it's going to happen or not. And you have to find and collect those throughout the game. The sound of the game is very, very spooky. And the jump scares are not the cheesy type of jump scares. You know what I'm talking about? You know how some jump scares are cheesy to where you're sitting there looking at it like, what's going on?
Yeah.
The voice acting in the game is very good. It's fully voice acted. Like in the scene you're seeing now that you can't hear, those two are having a fight about their newest adopted daughter. Um, the game is it's very good. It's one of the games that I wish I could eat a bag of popcorn while playing, but I fear I'll get my controller messy.
Yo, check this out. So this game, of course, reminds me of, you can look at the character models and tell it's kind of like an Until Dawn.
The same
And
people who did Until Dawn did this game.
I
So
know. Now let me ask you
super
this.
massive.
So what about Erica? Do you know who did Erica? Or
No,
have you heard of Erica?
no.
Look into it. I just want you to look into it. I haven't played it, but I know that Erica has that same visual type quality. I don't know. I'm gonna go check that out. But keep Erica on the top of your mind.
Okay. But yes, this game is, like I said, the same Supermassive Games who did Until Dawn, which was a PlayStation 4 exclusive, did this game. They do all the Dark Picture anthology, but the thing is, they didn't want them exclusive to one console. So they teamed up with Bandai Namco, and they're doing all of the games in the Dark Pictures anthology. And here you see it. You have to make a choice. Like you get three options for choices. You could say nothing. One could be a positive choice. One could be a super negative choice. But this game here, some people I know personally know have never heard of this game. And this was like their first time watching and streaming it when I was in there. Some people are playing like you are playing Man of Medan. You don't have to play Man of Medan to play this game. All the characters are different except for one. I don't even think they have the same actors for each.
Gotcha.
Hmm. But yes. So like I said, I had another choice here, but yeah, this game is fire. I'm having a very good time. Like I said, again, I'm probably going to stream an hour of it next Saturday along with an hour of Stardew, and we're going to go from there. Let's see here.
All right, so I got so you see the link
Yep.
I dropped.
Mm-hmm.
All
Let
right.
me find it. Yep. Let me go to it. So let me stop sharing this, and we're going to show Project Storm's play of
It's Star
of
Wars, the
oh, this
Jedi
is Star
Fallen
Wars.
Order.
So this is another game you're highlighting?
Yep, I'm highlighting it because I don't care about the age of these games. When we talk about these games, it don't matter when they came out, y'all. It matters about that the experience matters, is what I'm saying. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
I don't care if it's AAA, if it's indie. If we're having fun with it, then we're going to show you because it's a game that we feel that other people need to see also.
Absolutely, I agree. Now, if you want to, can you
Uh,
full screen that or not? You
Yeah, I'm
probably can't.
getting
Don't
ready
worry about it.
to.
You don't have
I
to.
just did
So,
for mine.
so
There it
check it
is.
out. I just made this the other day on just, every now and then I'll just throw up some videos when I feel like playing Stadia. This is on Stadia right here. So I jump into the game and I try different things. Like this was while I was playing on my desktop PC in the Chrome browser, and I had my desktop set to 1440p, 120 hertz. What that does is smooths out the gameplay experience to make it a lot like more fluid. Like cycling through the menus and everything, or more fluid, cycling through your items in certain games, whatever the case is. And I went between 4K and 1440p, 120 on my desktop. Now, Stadia doesn't play games natively at 120 hertz right now, but this was a game I haven't completed yet. So this is actually where I am on the game. And which is the cool thing about it, because each time I play a new level, I can just go ahead and upload that bunny for people to see while I'm playing, see my live experience and what I did at that time. So this game right here is interesting because, now we're hearing that the Star Wars series, EA lost the license to that, right?
No, they didn't
Oh,
say they lost the license. They're saying that they're still able to do it. They just
oh,
opened up the license to a bunch of different people.
okay. Because
They
some
don't have
articles,
exclusive. Well, EA, if you look on Twitter, EA brings it up.
yeah,
EA says they did not lose the rights to do Star Wars games.
uh-huh.
They could still make Star Wars games. It's just that I think Disney has opened it up to a bunch of different companies.
Okay, and right there, what you're seeing is you're seeing me looking at the patch notes for the Series X and S and the PS5, but there was no love for Stadia at the time, right? So I was like, okay, let me go over here and try this game at the 120 hertz setting that I was talking about. Smooth as hell. It felt better than just playing it at 4K 60 or whatever. So that's what this is about. But this is a phenomenal game. Of course, there were some articles out there that was misleading. Then, if that's the case, Bunny, because they were like, yeah, now that the license has been freed or whatever, and other people can make Star Wars, like Ubisoft is going to be
Yeah,
making Star
yeah.
Wars.
EA can still make them, but
Okay,
other
cool.
companies are allowed to make
Well,
them
that's
also.
that's good because I think this one right here is a phenomenal title. It's one that if you haven't played it yet and you've been thinking about it, you might want to jump on it and at least play that opening
It's
level.
made by EA. You know my EA band.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. And it's dope. So we don't.
I'm waiting on another company to make one.
Oh, cool. So we don't have to show too much more of that one. That's it. That's the game. That's the other game I've been playing out of hundreds of games that I've been cycling through.
All right, but wait a minute. A few new people to join the chat. We have Hyperfang Gaming. Hey, what's up, Dev? What's up?
Hyper
He's
Fang in the
saying,
building.
yes, he said Ninja Gaiden creator got a new studio and wants to work with Xbox. Just seen, LOL.
Oh wow.
Charles, yes, yes,
Now
Ninja
that's
Gaiden
breaking
looks
news. That's how you do it
good.
right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now let me shout
Um,
out. Hey, I got to shout him out though, because
uh-huh.
I was checking out We Bleed Green on Monday, y'all. I think it was this Monday or I can't the episode where Sean was acting the fool, man. Sean was just coming at everybody, right? It was entertaining. Y'all got to check it out. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays, y'all. You can find the We Bleed Green podcast, man. It was a trip. Like Dev, I think it was you, or I don't know if it was you or R&B or somebody that was like, yo, what's up with that half lion face logo or avatar? So I was up in there, man, checking y'all out. It's good to see y'all stop by. Dirk Griggity stopped by early, man. That's what's up.
yes, thank you for showing up. Charles Aran asks, how does it compare to Blair Witch? I can't answer that, Charles, because Blair Witch is first person. So I never was able to play the Blair Witch game. So I can't compare how the Dark Picture anthology Little Hope is to Blair Witch because it is Blair Witch is first person and I can't watch that. The Rack is up in here. What's up, Rack? How you doing?
What's
Thanks for
going
coming
on?
by the stream last night. He was in both my Stardew Valley stream last night and he was in the beginning half of Little Hope last night. And then we got Zajic saying Supermassive is working on a Stadia exclusive.
Oh
Hype for
yeah,
that. And
yeah. Me too.
hopefully we can get these on Stadia. I hope so, Zajic, because they're rumoring there's gonna probably be about 8 games in the Dark Pictures anthology series.
Those
Uh,
will be perfect games for the platform. I can't lie to you
uh-huh.
because yo, they're dope, beautiful.
And then then Charles says, I think Supermassive is making a Stadia game too. And P.S. Medium looks good. The medium does look good. I was watching somebody with who was watching some video gameplay of it, but I'm after this whole cyberpunk thing. I need to seriously reevaluate any games that I'm getting from the future now.
Yeah,
But it does look very, very good. Um, Odd thing is I know it's going to be on the Windows Store, but they're saying also, isn't Medium going to be on Steam and Epic Game Storefronts? I
yeah.
think it is.
I know it's gonna be on the. I don't. You know what? I just saw it on Game Pass for PC, and I got it installed already. So when it drops, I'm gonna be on that. If it's a midnight drop, I'm on it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be on Steam and
In
Epic Game
Epic Game, I
Store.
think I saw it on in those places as well.
Yeah, and the Windows Store. So yeah, it's not exclusive to Game Pass. Um,
Got you.
Charles says it looks nice. Rex says he's doing good. Great, great, great. Devin says, I've been waiting to see this show again. Yes, we're here usually every Sunday, but I was sick as hell last week. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I stayed in bed all day. Literally, I stayed in bed all day, then got up to put laundry in the wash, went back to sleep, woke up the next day, tried going to work, and it just wasn't happening.
I already knew that wasn't gonna happen.
it just wasn't happening. So I laid in bed all day. But thank you for coming by, Devin. But yeah, that game looks awesome there also. So the games we highlighted, Plague Tales. Or is it called
Innocence.
Plague?
Yep.
Yep,
Playtale
Plague
Innocence.
Innocence. Uh, Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope. And this is which Star
Star
Wars
Wars
games?
Jedi Fallen Order.
That's Jedi, Star Wars Fallen Order. These are 3 games that us personally think are very good. And if you can get a chance to try them, get a chance to try them. If you've never played any Dark Picture Anthology and you have Game Pass, right now, Game Pass has their previous entry, Man of Medan, which is based on a ship legend of the Orang Medan.
Yeah. Now, Bunny, let me say this real quick because some people are thinking that Game Pass might not be the best value for them, but and other you got a whole flock of people that knows that it is because they have Game Pass, right? But
Mhm,
Game Pass allowed me to try the Man Madon game, and I would have missed out on that game, Bunny. I wouldn't have known anything about it. I would have seen you playing this new one or whatever, and I would have been like, man, what the hell is this? So
mhm.
me jumping on that game through Game Pass says a lot about what Game Pass and these subscription services can offer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's just like for me, I love point and click games. I'm always on them visual novels.
Yeah.
Okay, those are two types of games I am always on. You put Man of Madon, and Man of Madon is basically like a more action visual novel because you have the walking around aspect, you have the investigation aspect. But when you get down to having to make the choices in visual novels, you're reading through the
You
game. It's
you
like a
can you
live
can
action novel.
yeah, can you stop the sharing? What I'm doing right here on this video, y'all, if you're wondering, I'm testing the frame rate. So it looked like I'm just don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I was testing the frame rate between 1440p 120 and 4K on Stadia. But yeah,
Let
you
me
can go ahead
stop
and
that
stop
share.
sharing that one if you want. Yeah.
All right, there you go. All right. So when you like compare those two types of um when you put those two types of games together for me, oh, I'll put Anthology back up. How's that?
Yeah, you can put it back up. I thought you would have had one more though. I thought you would have had one more to share because
No, it's just like I said, the only other game I've really been playing is Stardew Valley.
oh, okay.
Because like I said, when I'm sick, I really don't like to play anything that's too intense because I may not have the motor skills to
Yeah, I
do
got
it.
you. Got you.
Like Stardew Valley is something very chill, very laid back. I don't have to think much with it when I'm sick. Um and that's the reason it took me so long to start doing um man I'm a Little Hope here.
Yeah.
And I might start streaming Man of Madon. I found out you got more than one save file. I just thought it was one save file. Idiot me. But I might start doing Man of Madon also. But those are the three games that right now we're playing this week. We think is awesome. Next week we'll talk about some more games that we've been playing or games that's what we think is looking really good. But let's jump into this next thing. The games that's coming out that we're hyped for.
Let's do it.
So I know here in January we have Hitman coming out and The Medium are coming out.
Hype for both.
Okay. Nothing's coming out for PlayStation I want, nothing's coming out for Switch right now. The next month though, we have Yeez 9 coming out, which will be on PlayStation, PC, and Switch. We also have Persona 5 Strikers, PlayStation 4 and Switch. And then we also have on Switch only, we have Mario 3D World
Oh,
with
okay.
Bowser's Fury. Now, I was kind of up in the air about getting that one, but then when I saw the trailer, what's going on with Bowser's Fury, I might have to pick that one up. Now, have you ever played any of the Yeez games?
Nah, probably not.
They're RPGs. They
Nah,
JRPGs.
I don't think so.
I played Yeez 9 on my Switch. It's actually the games are very beautiful. They are very, very beautiful. The stories are excellent. Usually my mom don't like watching me play RPGs, but she actually loved watching me play Yeez 9 just because of the beauty of the game and she got into the story. The story was that good. Um and then Persona 5 Strikers I'm going to get. It's going to be on Switch and PlayStation 4. I'm actually going to get it for the PlayStation 4. And not for the reason you think I'm getting it for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, because I was thinking.
Uh-huh. It's not for the reason you think, it's not for the reason that you're thinking. Because I'm betting you're saying, "Oh, yeah, she's getting addicted to the PlayStation
Getting
4
addicted to the
graphics and
graphics.
that." No. The reason I'm getting it on PlayStation 4 is because of my damn OCD. Um, I have Persona 5 Royal on PlayStation 4. It's not on Switch at all. I like to keep the same series on the same consoles.
Nothing wrong with that.
And there's also another a reason why, because I can tell you right now, like with when on the Switch, so there was Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that came out,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Well, when Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, the first Xenoblade came to Switch, if you had a save file on your Switch from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you got a bunch of bonuses in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Sounds like a good ass deal to me.
So I'm keeping my Persona 5 all on my PlayStation 4. So that's the reason. It's not the graphical reason.
All
It's the
right.
reason
Well, I'm
of
sure you'll appreciate the graphical reasons, though. I'm sure.
probably,
I know you
yes.
will. I know you will. You're starting to see the performance of that Pro and what it can do.
I'm seeing it, but like I said, on some games, I'm seeing more hiccups with the PlayStation 4 than I do on the same compatible versions that I have on the
Yeah, it
Switch.
might be because it's pushing more pixels and all that. It's
Yeah,
kind,
I mean, and
you know.
that's the thing. So that's the one thing that I noticed. I have a few lag spikes on there that I may or may not have on the Switch. But and then we have what's coming out in March. We know the Returnal is coming out. Monster Hunter Rise is coming out. I still have to play that demo. Um, and then Story of Seasons and a game that was delayed from October, Harvest Moon. What else is coming out in October? I mean, not October.
I don't know. I don't want to get too far ahead. I wanted to keep it in a little short in a small window, but I wanted to
Okay,
kind
so
of like,
let's start with January. How's
all
that?
right, there we go. There we go. Now,
So we know you're hyped for the medium.
hype for the medium. I saw trailers. I stopped watching trailers on it after the first one I saw. It looked like a dope experience. I
Why did
don't
you
even,
stop watching trailers? I'm curious.
yeah, I don't even really fully know what it's going to be about or what genre, anything. All I know is it's going to be, it looks kind of, it reminds me of like uh a couple games. Like I'm just going to say it like this for people that don't like any kind of spoilers whatsoever. There's times where it looks like you're just in two different dimensions or whatever. And that's the thing that I think is going to be the most appealing. I think the storyline and the world itself is going to be a dark, like grim world or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that. And the fact that I'll be able to play it on the Series X and the PC simultaneously if I want to is gonna be pretty dope. I'll be putting some videos up there of that too on both
Mhm.
platforms. So I'm just ready for it. It's one of those type of games that I think we need right now. Um, yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Actually, when I was playing this game last night, this game, people were like, "Oh yeah, the medium's about to come out." I forgot about it. So it's in that horror genre.
Yeah.
So and we all know that game probably is going to be super super popular in Asian countries. I don't know or can understand why, but they tend to love to scare the hell out of themselves. I mean, I have if you played like a game I have on my Switch called Death Mark.
Yeah.
It's a visual novel, but it's a horror visual novel. A lot of the horror visual novels first came out only in the Asian countries on the PS Vita and PSP and those consoles, and they're importing a lot of them to America now. That's what happened with Deathmark. Collar X Malice was one that was only in Japan and Asian countries, and it's a horror visual novel also.
Right.
They and Resident Evil. Let's not even talk about Biohazard. They love that game, And not even because it's Capcom only, but they just love the horror genre like that. They also make some of the best horror films that actually will scare you.
Well, I tell you what, I know that Resident Evil was a game that I didn't get a chance to go through. That was some scary stuff. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Which one?
The seven, it was kind of
Mhm.
scary with or without VR. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and 8 and the next one that's coming out looks awesome.
Yeah, I
I
see
won't
that.
be able to play it, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, like I can play Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can play Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, which I just actually purchased for my PlayStation 4. And because it's a crazy reason why I did it, but one of them I
Oh, I want
double.
to hear it. I want to hear it.
All right, so okay, so I have Resident Evil Revelations on the Switch. I
Yeah.
have the first one. I have a preference for physical media.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the odd thing about it is when it released on the Switch, when it released in the double pack of Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 on the Switch, Revelations 1 was on the cartridge. Revelations 2 is a digital download only.
Hmm.
The
Okay.
only way to get both as a physical copy is to import it from Asia. In Asia, they made both of them physical.
We got
Um,
Fatal. We got Fatal Charade in the building.
what's up, Fatal? Hey, Fatal, how you doing? What you're seeing on screen right now is the playthrough last night of Little Hope that I was doing when you popped in there last night. So, and it's the same thing with Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2. On the Switch, 10 is on the physical cartridge, but 10-2 is a digital download only. If I wanted 10-2 as a physical, I would have to import the game from Asia.
Yo, this game look dope as hell though. I can't even sit up here and lie. I can't
Okay.
sit up here and lie.
So the reason I bought Revelations 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 4 is because both of them are physical copies.
Right. Yo, see, that's why I wouldn't be able to stay in your stream. I wouldn't be able to stay in your stream because I would have been like, oh, I don't want to see none of this. I want to experience this right now. Surround
But
sound.
see, the thing is you want to know what's crazy?
What up?
Right there when you see him gone in trying to get his little sister,
Yep.
it would have been different if I had picked the other option.
Oh, dope. Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember you saying something like that. But see, right there, I don't want to see none of that because that's when I told you, yo, why are you not playing? See, you got to get some friends on the PlayStation. If you have some, you got to get one at least to play this with you or get me
Well,
over there.
see,
I don't even have the PlayStation.
here's
I'm
the
still,
cool thing about this game. So, like, if you had your PlayStation,
oh, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. So,
can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you now. I don't know if it has anything
Okay.
to do with the stream or whatever, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
But okay, so me and you could play this over the PlayStation. I have some friends who are right now, after the stream last night, they're planning on getting the game. They're planning on doing stuff with it, okay?
Yeah.
But you can play this solo, you can play it with another person online. But let's say you're having like a bunch of friends over, right?
Yeah.
You can play this game with up to 5 other people couch co-op.
Yeah, that
Where
Hyperfang said he said it's a blast. He said Dark Pictures games are a blast and co-op.
And
And
see,
then
that's the dude you remember from Man of Medan, isn't
yep,
it?
yep. Me and my boy
That is
Nate Ether, we was on it. Like, well, we were both amazed. I told him about it, and I had just learned about it myself. But we got Pablo that just joined in. Pablo,
Hey Pablo, what's up? He popped into the stream late in the game last night. But that's what I'm saying. So that's the only dude that's the same between the two games.
okay, cool.
Okay. But if you have like, let's say you're having like a dinner party and there's like 5 of you around, you
Uh-huh.
could pop this game in and play it as couch co-op.
Yo, see, I like that. See, I love the
And
fact
you
that
and you
you
pass and you just pass the controller amongst you because um It was like this with Man of Medan also. You could play up to 5 people couch co-op, and you could play with one other person online.
Super Massive developed this game, man, or published
Yes.
or whatever. They
They
developed it.
developed the game, and for this system here, Bandai Namco is who
And see, that's what
published
I'm
it.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm up here on Stadia, y'all. You know I'm on Stadia now, and I've been knowing that Supermassive was going. And Zajic just said it in the chat again, and I still didn't pay attention. So these games could very well be coming this year. That's
Mhm.
crazy. Anyway, but go
Mhm.
ahead, Bunny. I don't know what we're gonna do. I know we wanted to try to shorten the show, but man, we got a lot going
But
on.
well, we talked about games that we're hyped for.
Mm.
We talked about games that we're playing that we want other people to experience or know about without having us with yellow cyberpunk chairs telling you it's the best damn thing
Right,
ever.
right.
You're seeing actual gameplay of us playing the game, saying that is really good. And we talked about the news. I think we got everything, don't you?
I, I think so too. Now you just mentioned Cyberpunk, but unless you want to say that for another discussion, I think we might want to get into the what just dropped. Didn't I just dropped some news or whatever that you said that we talked about? It wasn't. What the hell did I drop in the thing earlier? But hey, we'll do that next show. We'll do it next week. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
we'll do that next week. Let's get into outros and let's get into where you can find us.
All right.
So, Storm, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
Well, you can find me right here on YouTube, dropping 4K content. I recently moved up to 8K. I'm a lover of visuals in these games, y'all. I love the technological side of everything gaming. So find me here on YouTube at youtube.com/project Storm. And on Twitter, you can find me at the Nephophiliac, And I never drop the links, but while Bunny is talking, I'm gonna find that link and drop it for y'all. And you
Uh,
also can find
actually, on YouTube, your link is in the description,
oh, word.
and your Twitter handle I put in the description.
Good. So that's a good place to look for it. I appreciate that.
No
And
problem.
so next week you can find Bunny, I'll let you get on the stuff that you know, but you can find me and MM2K, aka Stadia Doses News. You can find us on Thursday doing the SSC podcast, unless we decide to move it to Wednesday for some reason. Thursday at around 3 Eastern time. Find us there. And then on Saturday, you can find us on the SML podcast at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time on my channel. So make sure you subscribe to all of that, you know, so you got notifications on so you won't miss that. If you enjoy Stadia and everything gaming, because it all intertwines, make sure you tune in because we got a very special one planned.
Okay, and then I need to hit this chat real quick because some people popped in right when we're popping out. All right, we have Pablo the Third in here. He's saying, "What's up, everyone?" Charles says, "Kind of like Bayonetta 1 and 2," and he's asking if we're going to get Scott Pilgrim. Not positive yet if I'm going to get Scott Pilgrim yet. Sick Humor. He says, "I want to play the waiting game." Sick, you're a trip. How are you doing today?
Big humor.
Yes, and then Stadia Dosage is in here. The giveaway. You need to talk about some giveaway or something.
The giveaway. That's what's up. We got a giveaway going on, y'all. And we got some guidelines, some rules, and everything about the giveaway. So that's going to be occurring soon. So make sure you subscribe to my channel again if you're interested in winning that Stadia premiere. It's a hot item right now. A lot of people trying to get their hands on it to get into the world of Cyberpunk and other games that they're finding out now that are dope on Stadios. So stay tuned to my channel. Subscribe to Stadia Doses News for more details on that. And definitely you can check us out on Twitter and our Twitter handles and everything. So, yeah, I think that's about it.
Well, you can find me here on Snow Bunny Gaming. Saturday nights, I'm going to be streaming. Right now, it's going to be Stardew Valley and most likely more of, well, it's no most likely, it will be more Little Hope. You will find me. I'm gonna try to start at 8 p.m. for Stardew, 9:15 or so for Little Hope. That way, give us a little break in between, so I could run around, do things with my animals, and get drinks. You can also find me at Twitter on Twitter at SnowBunny426. This show, along with all of our other past streams, have been uploaded to Radio Public, so you can go over and listen to on Radio Public whichever way you want to, however you want to, and whenever you want to. That is it for this week. What is Sick has a question for you. What is Stadia Premiere? And looks like Stadia Dosage answered the question. Stadia Premiere is the Stadia controller, 3 months of Stadia Pro, and a Chromecast Ultra, so you can play on TV. Oh, we're on Spotify now also, Stadia Dosage. Well, you can find Ying Meets Yang of Gaming on Spotify also, along with
Nice.
all the other shows. Also, you can find information about Project Storm, myself, Stadia Dosage News. Moss, you need to hit me up with this stuff earlier. So we're on iTunes also. So we're on Radio Public, Spotify, and iTunes, wherever you want to listen to Ying Meets Yang of Gaming. You can also find information about Moss, who is Stadia Dosage News, MM2K, Project Storm, myself, among others, at pntsnetwork.com. There you can see our latest shows that we're uploading, things like that. Click a link, go straight to the channel, watch whatever shows you want to. And that's it for this evening, guys. You will see us again next Sunday on this channel at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will also find myself, Project Storm, Tron, and MM2K over on The Commission at Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, have a great evening, a safe week. Make sure you play tons and tons of games, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Peace, y'all. Thanks for coming out.